Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Briareus Kerensky, and you know, when these purple boxes are delivered to you, you know that it's time to delve into yet another limited edition from the European store of Nipponichi America. This time it's all about Grand Kingdom, and it's not just the box you see, there is a second box, a booklet, and a sheet of stickers. All these items form the grand edition of this game, the most expensive and the one with the most items in it. So there is a lot to show, so let's get going. Let's start off with the heavier box of the two that doesn't show any kind of content, but on the front we see all the main characters from the game along with the units. This is printed in relief and has a very slight glossy finish, while the rest of the box is matte. So on the sides we are already told that there is the title once again, and on the back the badge of your mercenary guild, once again printed in relief and in glossy finish. So, let's see what's inside. The game. This is the soundtrack. This is yet another soundtrack, maybe? Yeah, this is the soundtrack. A poster, I guess. And wow, I wasn't expecting this, a beautifully bound art book. This is leather, guys. And here's the second box. Grand Edition, the title of the game once again on the sides. On the back, a logo with part of all the emblems of the four empires. And on the back we have the contents of this box. In this box we'll find a cloth map, 6 metal pins, a poster and 6 art prints. So, let's get going. So, art prints. Yes, this is the poster, pins and the cloth map. But before going into detail of what was inside those boxes, let's first see what the field manual for first-time captains offer. Okay, there is a small comic featuring Lilia and Flint, as well as a brief description of the structure. This is the introduction of the Four Kingdoms. Introduction to classes, at least the basic ones. What quests are like, and the various types of missions you can undertake. A bit about strategic movement. Human catapult, well, I guess that human catapults in Nipponichi published games are fine. And on the online features. And a bit of advertisement on the available editions. And then there are the stickers that, well, I can't say much about them, they are stickers. There is a good rendition of the game's logo, along with various emblems and all units from the game. Everything is printed on transparent film, although I don't really see myself using any of those. A bit superfluous, but I guess an extra is an extra. Starting off the contents of the two main boxes, here's the game. As you can see, this is the European PS4 version. On the front cover we see once again Lilia, Flint and the 4 rulers of the 4 kingdoms. On the back we see 3 rather non-descriptive screenshots and some of the game features. Of course, there are technical and legal informations along the page rating. So, well, Odin Sphere Leif Trazier advertisement, game disc, and nothing much. Not that I was expecting a manual in a PS4 game. And these are the 2 soundtracks. 2 due to a manufacturing error. The disc that comes in this paper sleeve is actually the true disc that should come with all limited and grand editions. While if we take a peek in this case, we should see, yes, the first call, a smaller selection of 5 tracks. Still exploring the case, we see on the reverse cover the map of the game, and on the back we see the tracks that compose the true soundtrack. This is the true disc, well, this is the 5-track selection. This manufacturing error was actually acknowledged by Nipponichi before shipping, and they are offering a free replacement for all limited editions. They also specified that the grand editions didn't need this free replacement, and their solution was to include both discs in this edition. I guess you can say that this is a welcome error for whoever bought the grand edition. Next we have a poster depicting all the units from the game. This is a rather strange layout. It's 72 centimeters long and 36 centimeters high, but this is surely due to the selected artwork. The paper is fairly thin and has a semi-glossy finish. The print is nice, although the background is not as sharp as the characters. And we finally get to the art book. I must say I am very curious to see what's inside, because its presentation on the outside is absolutely stunning. I said this was leather, but it's probably false leather, but I guess this is the most elaborate art book I have seen so far. The pages are painted silver on the outer border, and of course the false leather has a very shallow relief. The back cover is not as elaborate on the front, but there are still some false markings. So, inside we go. So we start off with the rulers and the helpers. The design of a dragon doesn't really seem to come from the same designer that did the characters. I see that the binding is not perfect. I hear the pages cracking a bit. So yeah, spoiler about this, but Uld is kinda the bad guy of the story mode. And this is the commander of the mercenary guild you're enlisted in. Lilia is the commander's daughter and she works as your aide, as does Flint. Yeah, I see that a couple of unit definitions have been changed from the Japanese game, but not really in a very heavy way. Given the amount of pages that this art book has, it's a bit of a shame that not all units have been treated in the same way. Some had more sketches, while others just a very simple illustration. Field artillery. Oh, the 4 nurses that ask you for money to heal you on the battlefield. Yeah, there are a lot of flags. Unfortunately, you can't create your own design, meaning you can't upload a custom artwork. But again, knowing the internet denizens, that is actually a nice move. And this concludes the art book. To start off the contents of the second main box, we have a set of 6 art prints that, as you would expect, depict the various rulers of the 4 kingdoms, along the mercenary leader Enduld. A nice thing is that on the back you have their kingdoms, although you can tile these together and form yet another map. The prints, although well done, are nothing special, and I would have preferred a set of illustrations like Nipponichi America did in other limited editions. The contents of the second main box continue with a set of 6 pins, of course representing the emblems of the various kingdoms. All are printed with a very shallow relief. The background is black and the artwork is gold. This is the cloth map of Resonale, and just like the poster before, it shares a rather horizontal layout. This is smaller than the previous poster, less than 17 cm in length and less than 40 cm in height. Printing quality is not particularly good. There are a lot of details, but they are kinda murky, and as with every cloth poster, the colors are kinda muted. It would have been nice to have something more on the map itself, rather than just mountains and how the various regions are divided. And lastly we have yet another poster, this time showing off Lilia chilling out. Once again the dimensions are a bit strange, 72 by 51 centimeters. Paper and finish are the same as the poster depicting the units, and, well, the biggest problem of this poster is that it has been folded several times, and it will be very hard to iron out all these folds. Once again, Nipponichi America delivers. As this grand edition, as its name implies, it's simply grand. There is a lot of content and almost every single piece is perfectly on point. The lows are the art prints that are nothing special and how many times the posters have been folded. The manufacturing error on the soundtracks is rather unfortunate, but the solution found by Nipponichi is rather elegant, at least for this edition. The first hour play and reviews of this game are already out on my channel, and even if you don't have the chance to snatch this grand edition, you should totally check out the game. It's worth every single minute you power into it. I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing and you'll stick around for more. Briario Skarensky, over and out!